What is going on, everybody? It's Alex coming back at you with another video, and today we're going to be doing round 2 of 3 of my mock draft 16.1. So if you guys are new, would love you guys to stick around. Probably checking out round 1 would be a good start, but we're going to do a quick recap in just a moment, so feel free to stick around if you guys just want to see that. But of course, feel free to leave your comments down below as well. Join the Discord. Would love for you guys to chat with me there. Of course, below my face is my big board. Yes, I will be scrolling so you guys get to see more. Let's get right into this with the quick recap, starting off with the number 1 overall pick. We've had quite a few big trades in here, and one of those trades was a Sean Payton trade to Denver, which we were pretty lucky because later that day, Sean Payton was traded to Denver. So very nice to be able to see that. But you guys get to see, you guys can read. We just do this for a nice little recap. The Steelers did trade up with the Seahawks to acquire Jordan Addison. So you have Broderick Jones and Jordan Addison now, which is a nice 1-2 punch. Yes, and DB is always a nice thing, but you don't have to force it because you don't have to solve every need in one draft. That's not how you build a franchise. That's how you actually screw your franchise. Pick number 32. I wish that I could go anywhere but Trenton Simpson with this pick at the moment. Looking at the other guys available, we could look at someone like B.J. Ojulari. We did end up going a quarterback, so an edge rusher certainly is within the realm of possibility. I just think there's going to be edge rushers there by 36. Maybe not so much on the linebackers because I would love DeMeco Ryans, who's now the new head coach. So probably next mock draft we'll adjust round 1 be offensive players. But DeMeco Ryans would probably want to go and check out Trenton Simpson because that would be a very, very nice addition to the team. But Pete Carroll's going to have the luxury of getting Trenton Simpson today. Pick number 33, yes, DeMeco Ryans is still there, and I think going after someone like B.J. Ojulari, who I have as a top 10 talent, hence why I kept my board right there, would be probably the best case scenario for you guys. I love B.J. That right pause, but B.J. is still a great player. Definitely has the size and the ability, so certainly worth that early second, late first pick. I think worth a lot more. Pick number 34 for the Cardinals. Zay Flowers could be very intriguing. He could be a really cool weapon for you guys to have there. Obviously, speed, speed, speed. I want to see if there's a team willing to trade up, but I don't see that many teams except maybe the Titans that'd be in the mood to make a move up. And looking at the other wide receivers, you can still get Jalen Hyatt down the board, Josh Downs, Tank Dell. There's no real need to be able to force a pick here or force a trade up and lose the picks that you have, especially when you're a developing franchise like the Titans. So, good players fall, and that's the way this draft is going to go. But I believe we went Jalen Carter there with our first pick, which is, in my opinion, the best pick. I think Jalen Carter might be going at number 2 now that DeMeco is there in Houston. So we'll definitely check out how that goes. But the best option here is to go after one of these edge rushers. And I'm looking at someone like Nolan Smith as a very nice outside linebacker pass rusher because you think about how Hassan Reddick he's also 235, was able to have so much success there at the end of his tenure. Like, you found the role for him. And I think Nolan Smith fits that perfectly. I really do. And I have guys like Isaiah McGuire that I love. You can kick him to the inside. I have him higher than Nolan Smith, but this is a perfect scheme fit with somebody who is an awesome player. So I am not going to think twice about going Nolan Smith here. Will Anderson was the selection for the Bears in round 1. I still think Zay Flowers might not be a bad choice for them here. But looking at other positions you could go after, looking at other spots, O-line is never a bad position to look after. Cody Mock has not been doing too hot, and they've been playing him at guard quite a bit in the Senior Bowl. So I am a bit concerned about that. Blake Freeland's a good player. Matt Bergeron is as well. Don't know if I'm willing to reach because I don't think it's as desperate of a need as we kind of thought. John Michael Schmitz had a very good day 1 there in the Senior Bowl as well, but I'm going to hold off on that for the time being. I think this is a really good spot to trade back, in my opinion. I know linebacker is a position I'd love to go, but it's super low value in this defense. Just guys can move in and be able to make an impact right away. So when looking at it, there are some players here who are totally worth a trade up. Again, you got the top receivers, Zay Flowers, Josh Downs. And teams that are trying to just get that final piece probably would love to be able to access one of these players like this. But it's unfortunate because I would love to go after my favorite player in the draft at this spot. But, we already went Will Anderson, and there's no room for Isaiah McGuire. So we are going to be making a move down here. I'm going to find some team. I don't think the Bears just have the right value for anybody at this spot. I just don't think the value is good. So, Mozzie Smith would be a fun one, though. Mozzie Smith would be fun. I know we're not respecting the value of Justin Fields, but getting a defensive interior with a high upside kind of makes sense. So we are going to go Mozzie Smith. He's going to test out of his mind. So pairing him up with Will Anderson, that's actually a really good combo that I ended up liking. He would have went by the next pick, to be honest, if we were going to continue it that way. But at pick number 36, have we gone edge rusher? We have not. And actually, I want somebody who's going to be a really good run stuffer, weighing at 271 pounds at 6'4". We're going to go Isaiah McGuire. I think he's a perfect system fit. My number 2 player in the entire class. So, he is a very, very good player. Pick number 37 for the LA Rams. Edge rusher, again, one of their primary positions they were looking at. Offensive line as well. So I just saw that there was such a need emphasized on edge rusher with 2 firsts and a second. I don't know if I could ignore that, but for me, I just love the idea of Blake Freeland on this team, and I'm going to take it. I usually go edge rusher now, but going offensive line seems to be the perfect fit in a draft class that is just not that good. So pick number 38. We went after Devon Witherspoon to pair him up with Nate Hobbs again. And this pick, I don't think I can make it any more clear that Antonio Johnson is just worth it. We're not having many trades here, but that's just because the value is too damn good. At this point, Zay Flowers might be an incredible option, and I think I'm going to take him. I'm not even going to look at the other options here. I want to triple check. I think we went Tyree Wilson there in the first round, and we did. So we are going to end up going after Zay Flowers out of Boston College, one of my favorite wide receivers in the draft as of even the beginning. A man who, he just had his size. He's super dynamic. A lot of people are saying Antonio Brown's the comp. That I'm not a huge fan of how the pendulum swings so much, but I definitely love the fact that Zay is getting the respect that he deserves. Pick number 40 for the Eagles. We end up going Joey Porter in round 1. Now, guys to look at for this position, I love the idea of going after Carl Brooks, and based on his play so far in the Senior Bowl, I think he might be a big riser. So I'm going to be going Carl Brooks here to the Philadelphia Eagles. Just somebody who's going to kick inside, has an elite block shedding ability. I really wanted to see it versus higher level talent, and he is displaying it. Definitely something I love to see. He is not an edge rusher. He's 300 pounds. He belongs on the interior as a 3-tech. That is where he should be next to Jordan Davis for the future. Pick number 41 for the Saints. Another team that I honestly could have thought sending Zay Flowers to would not be a bad idea. Josh Downs is here. We've already went an edge rusher for this team. I know quarterback is the position to target, but my goodness, y'all need to, these two are not it in my opinion. So I am not going to be forcing that position. I'm going to be going after just the best player available. To me, that is going to be Josh Downs. To be able to come in, be in that Jarvis Landry role that you guys brought Jarvis back for that reason. He's just a super special player in terms of his movement ability. Kind of like a younger, upgraded version of Calvin Austin. So that's great for me. Pick number 42. Would have been great to have those 2 wide receivers here, but I don't think Jalen Hyatt is too far off being an absolute addition to this team. Adding that deep threat ability along with Treylon Burks seems to be a very nice pairing. Again, you're staying in Tennessee. You got Darnell Wright. Now you also have Jalen Hyatt. Pick number 43 for the Browns. I'll scroll down so you guys get a little bit more on my board as well. The Browns, man, this team, I just focus on edge rusher every time, and I don't think that's a bad route to go. I've seen Andre Carter struggle a lot versus DeJuan Jones so far in the Senior Bowl. Of course, the the data's not, or the videos are not published to us, the media specifically yet. Where people are getting their videos from, I don't know, but it's not the Senior Bowl directly. But Andre Carter still would be a great option here. Keon White would be a cool one as well. His speed at his size is absolutely incredible, and he's 285, so you can kick him inside. I think that might be a very smart move. Someone who's having a very good Senior Bowl as well. Offensive tackle was the pick for us in round 1 for the Jets. So round 2, I think you could look at a defensive back. I love the idea of going a linebacker here. Jack Campbell is just too damn good to pass on. Also, would have been the pick for the Patriots. So you got the double whammy right there. So Bill, pretty sure Bill was teaching up Brenton Cox on how to be able to defeat a block. So that's pretty awesome to see that Bill has been paying attention in the Senior Bowl to these guys who are playing edge rusher. And I love the idea of Andre Carter going to New England. I think he has so much potential. And as long as he continues to refine his game, which he hasn't had a chance to at Army, he's going to be a really good player. So I'm going to show a little bit of love there to my boy Andre Carter. Pick number 46. This is why we do not draft a tight end in the first round. And that's because you have Dalton Kincaid, Darnell Washington, Sam Laporta, as well as Luke Musgrave. Brevin Spanford decided to return. Don't know why the hell they haven't updated that. But we are going to, it's a toss-up here. I'll go Dalton Kincaid just to change it up a little bit. But y'all know I love going Darnell Washington for this team. Pick number 47. This is a team that might go after Luke Musgrave. I would really like that. But other positions to target, cornerback. Look at the guys available. It's not fair. I'm going to go Jalen Jones, an absolute lockdown cover corner. I don't know how the hell the board fell that way, but it did. Steelers, we also need a corner. Tyreek Stevenson, one of the dudes who I love here, Eli Ricks, is the perfect system fit for us. So for you guys complaining about the corners in round 1, there you go. And continuing that trend. Garrett Williams, great choice, but I'm going to go with the high upside Tyreek Stevenson, who is having himself a Senior Bowl. One of the guys who was in my top 25 starting out the year, and I'm excited to probably vault him back up into that range when all is said and done. Pick number 50. So this, if I'm not mistaken, was a corner in Keely Ringo. And correct. So Keely Ringo was a spot. Now you can just choose whatever the hell you want. And Tom Brady just retired, by the way, so that sucks to see. We all knew he was gone, so I don't really think that's too much to really speak about. We all knew he was not going to come back to the Buccaneers. I don't think it's going to be novel in terms of how we draft. But going after more of a stable player like Darnell Washington, that's going to be a good blocker, seems to be the right move. You're looking for Gronk to find a Gronk replacement, and someone like Darnell could be that special. But again, Tom was an awesome player, and he was there for my entire life in the NFL. So kind of crazy to see that he's gone now. It does suck, but we all knew it was coming. I was hoping that he'd have a better way to exit than kind of like getting beaten the crap out of by the Cowboys. So it is what it is. But, we can't take away from the fact that he is the greatest player of all time. Pick number 51. If there's a team that can make Cody Mock work on the interior, it's probably going to be this one. So I definitely like the idea of having somebody who can play that guard role, but, have someone who develops him properly. Pick number 52. So we went after a tight end in round 1. Obviously, given that Luke Musgrave is here, maybe not the best choice, but, you got to go after. That is not Zach. Oh my God, that is not Zach at all. So my buddy Zach from high school, obviously I went to school with him. That isn't his picture. That is embarrassing as hell. Oh my God, I just realized that. So, what the fuck? Yeah, so we aren't looking at Zach Charbonnet, but that caught my eye. I think this team definitely should still be looking in that wide receiver room. And you do have guys like Dell, Rashee Rice, A.T. Perry, who are in here, who are awesome. It would be interesting to see if Tank Dell could go this high. He's basically what you wanted out of Tutu Atwell, but like actually a good player. So I might show him a little bit of love. I saw him in person here at SMU. He carves up defenses. I love his hip flip. he's just super smooth in running routes and he's very sudden. So you can tell he has the little things down, and I like that a lot. Pick number 53. So I don't saying cornerback's that much of a need to. Clark Phillips is still on the board. This is ridiculous. The quarterback class just got way too good. The more you study them, like the better they got. I'm going to go Sam Laporta here. I am. I think that he fits a little bit more of what McDaniels is looking for in a tight end in terms of the balance of blocking as well as receiving. So definitely something that I am a huge fan of. Pick number 54 for the Bears. So this is the one from Baltimore. I'm looking at John Michael Schmitz here. I'm getting very excited. That's the right move. RIP to the massive amount of emails I'm getting. But John Michael Schmitz seems to be the right move. You can put him anywhere on the interior. I know it's not a necessity, but it is best player available. So you got to sometimes just choose what is best for your team. The Detroit Lions don't really need much now. I mean, this is a point where I would say I'm taking a shot on Luke Musgrave just to be able to have him as a weapon. I know y'all don't need it. The linebackers are not worth it, this spot. I don't think any of them are worth it. It's a really thin class. I'm looking at it. I love the idea of Cam Jones later on. He was one of my week 1 standouts for college football. But I'm going to go Luke Musgrave because the potential is just too good. Jaguars, somehow, some way, we're continuing to revamp that secondary. Clark Phillips is here. You're going to get somebody in the slot as well as on the boundary in this draft. I think that's going to be perfectly fine. The Giants, again, we can have trades here, but it's just the value's too good. The value is just too damn good. I think Jalen Skinner should be traded up for, though. I think a team looking for a linebacker / safety hybrid could certainly be in the mood to grab someone like that. And I'm looking at a team like Carolina. I mean, obviously Jeremy Chin was of that mold, but I'm also looking right here at the Texans. And if I'm the Giants, we already drafted a wide receiver in round 1 with Jackson Smith and Jigba. The corners, yes, I can go Garrett Williams, but I also kind of, honestly, not a bad choice. Let's go Garrett Williams. Let's do it. Getting that nice boundary threat. But for the Cowboys, we already did go a boundary corner. I am 99% sure. And we did, Emmanuel Forbes. I don't see the offensive line assistance. I don't see the wide receivers that would necessarily make me excited. I'd rather trade back and maybe get Rashee Rice in round 3. So I am going to trade up with the Houston Texans to be able to draft a really awesome player. I think that's about the approximate worth of this pick. If it's not, again, it's not going to affect this mock draft. So the Texans are moving up, and I would love to see JL Skinner in that Fred Warner role. So definitely excited for that. Pick number 59 for the Bills. Jamie Robinson feels like a great pick for this team. We moved up, if I'm not mistaken, to acquire Osiris Torrance. Safety is certainly on the board, and I haven't done a deep dive on Jamie Robinson in all 22, but I do know that his measurables are great. He's been performing pretty well at the Senior Bowl, so excited to see him be able to replace not Joey Porter. You guys know who I'm talking about. Jordan Poyer. There we go. In that backfield. We got 2-star running backs still on the board. Kind of ridiculous that they're still here, but and that's just what happens. This draft has too many running backs, but this might be a spot where one of them goes. Zach Charbonnet, who again is not imaged right there. I've been face to face with Zach. I know what Zach looks like. He would be a good option here. I believe we went after an offensive lineman here with DeWan Jones, and I really like that idea. Corner certainly is another one you can go, but I think going after Zach Charbonnet is the right move. I think it is. You can get a really nice power back. He has a lot of upside. Yes, he goes above Jahmyr Gibbs, but I'm not looking for Jahmyr Gibbs style, which I'm honestly taking him here to be that super special back for Carolina, even though you don't need it. It's always good to have an upgrade, but Samaje Perine plays a much larger role than what people expect, and probably a much larger role than he should. So I think Zach Charbonnet would be great. Pick number 62. We went Kalijah Kancey in round 1. So the right move here, we can look at a developmental tackle, and Matt Bergeron's here. I think that's fine. I'm going to go Matt Bergeron. I really like him. He's a little bit farther down my board than maybe I would like, but certainly not a bad player whatsoever. And then the Eagles ending off the second round. We could probably trade out of this one too, to be fair. You got some really good players here. And I want to double check what we did earlier with this pick. We went Carl Brooks, which is great. I think that revamping the defense is key. But looking at the offensive line, I know that I want to get somebody who can play tackle. There's just nobody here. I mean, I would love to go Matt Bergeron for this team, but I'm not super excited about most of these guys. Alusugun's falling on my board soon as well. He's just overcompensating, not looking too good about it. And Steve Avila, not looking good either. So I think the best move would just be go an edge rusher. Just continue building up that edge presence. And Will McDonald is 35-inch arms. Does feel like he's probably going to rise up people's boards. But Isaiah Foskey is now getting a little too little hype. So getting him here at the end of the second to train behind some really good veterans seems to be the perfect move for Philly. So let me know what you guys think. I want to thank you guys so much for supporting me as always. See you on the far side. Peace.